Hi, this is Gillian Gotzel, World Diplomat of Liberland, and you're listening to Dream Chasers, Interviews with the Future.
Hey guys, this is Adam Carswell, and today I am joined by David Kafka. David is the founder of First Choice Belize. I didn't know this until today, but he was actually born in Germany, and then he grew up in South Carolina. He was a fireman for 8 years and also had a landscape company that after 12 years, he sold it during the recession of '08, took everything he had and then moved to Belize, so to speak. I think you said you actually moved to Belize in about 2010, but really cool how you did all that and then you got to where you're at now. So anyways, David, thank you so much for coming on the show. This has been a long time coming, I think, to have you as a guest. Do you have any opening remarks for our listeners today?
Yeah, man, thank you so much for having me, and what great work you do educating, and I'm proud to be a guest on your show.
Happy to have you here, guys. And so for those of you who don't know, I lived in Belize in the years 2013 and 2014. It's crazy to think it was only like a year and a half or 2 years because I don't know, when you look back on it, it just feels like feels like you were there for much longer. And then David, actually, is funny. So we knew, because Belize is a very small place that you get to know each other, get to know people very quickly. And I don't think we actually got to know each other during my main time living there, but from the relationships that I had cultivated. I want to say maybe about 2 years after leaving Belize, I came back on a vacation, and then somebody introduced me to David, and I was like, "Oh, you know this person? Oh, you know this person?" And then we clicked. And when you're in Belize too, I mean, David, you know this. When you meet another American down there that's not on vacation, but another American down there that's like living and working, you're like, you click instantly. So that's kind of like how we got to know each other. And there's some more context here, but I'll pause for a moment. Like, David, is there anything that I'm leaving out here?
Nope. Yeah, we were introduced in Ambergris Key, through a mutual friend of ours, and then we've kept in touch ever since.
Yeah, and I think that that's what it was. So the Real Estate Guys Network as well. Big thank you to Michael Flight. I can't even remember. I have a feeling we didn't even know. I went to, what was it? How to Win Funds and Influence People. That's what it was. And I don't think we knew that we were going to run into each other there. And all of a sudden, I was like, "Oh, hey, you're rolling in this circle too. Nice." So, yeah, definitely a shout out to the Real Estate Guys. And as soon as I say that, at the end of the interview, I always ask people to give a shout out, and I'm definitely jumping the gun. But David and I just said it. He's like, "I think that's who I'm going to use mine for." So I don't know if you want to use your shout out to the Real Estate Guys now.
Yeah, for sure. And then every time, me and Michael get together, we're always taking a picture and sending it to you.
How could I forget? I don't even think I dropped Michael's name yet. I'm sorry, Michael. Michael Flight's the reason why I went to that event, and he's been a fantastic connector to many people and reintroducing me to David. You guys have sent me some selfies of you hanging out. So, Michael, we'll all be in Belize soon. Trust me, David's got a spot lined up for us. So, all right. Well, guys, we are now going to step into the next level chamber. The topic of today's discussion, this might be kind of hard to understand as I say it if you're listening on audio or even video, but if you're reading the title of today's discussion, it'll make more sense. It's Plan B, Belize. Plan B, Belize. Plan Belize. Because it's a lot of Americans right now, I think even before the change in administration that we just had, but as administrations continue to change and all these things keep switching up, I do believe, and you can see this from working with your clients, more and more North Americans are looking to go south of the border, whether it's Mexico, which we do talk a lot about on Dream Chasers. Belize is definitely another fantastic option. And there's a ton of options when you look into it. But we're going to talk about Belize today. So David, to kind of break the ice, walk us through, how you've seen things change, say, over the past even 2 or 3 years in regards to interest in doing what you did.
Yeah, there's so many people, and especially because of now with the internet getting so much better here, we're seeing a lot of nomadic workers. They're just tired of just the rat race, if you will, and they're wanting to slow down their pace and just enjoy life. And Belize is just a natural place because the official language here is English, as you know. And so we're just seeing people coming left and right, and even more so, over the last year or two, just because they're not happy with seeing things going on in their home country.
And with the amount of people that are coming in now, what's the typical, you said nomadic workers, but I mean, so that to me, that sounds like, maybe someone who is here in North America, we consider like middle class looking to move. Are we seeing any, I'm just curious, what are some of the bigger players doing? Like, are you working with high net worth clients or anyone who's, got some significant capital that's looking at Belize? And if so, how are they looking at it different from like that middle class group?
Yeah, the higher class group is looking more for the opportunity and the investment. So more like developing, projects, things like that. Not necessarily to move here, but to have a plan B, if you will, to where they can come if they need to, whenever they want, and they'll have either a house or a condo complex where they can keep, one unit and they'll sell the rest, or build a house and things like that.
Okay. And yeah, as far as, any of the examples that you just mentioned right there, how easy is it to get started as far as investing? If someone's got 10 grand sitting around, how do they get started? If someone's got 100 grand, how do they get started? And what are some of the benefits of either investing in Belize or picking up and moving there compared to just staying in one place in the US?
Yeah, it's super easy. It's even, you're in Canada right now, and our laws are British Commonwealth. So it's more like Canadian laws versus North American, like US laws. So it's full title ownership. There's no fideicomiso like in Mexico. You actually take title to the property in any form you want. If you want to put it in your name, or, for people.
All good.
Sorry about that. If I had it off, it's you could take title in your name, or, for more, for privacy protection and asset protection, you can put it in an entity, foreign entity like an IBC, an international business company, or a Belize Chapter 250, or you can even get your North American, a Canadian LLC or a US LLC, and just have it registered here and take title for property like that. And it's pretty much just like in North America. You write the offer, just instead of sitting in a lawyer's office doing the closing, we do a lot of it, versus, via FedEx, and it's done, through the mail.
And what are some of the, some of the perks, and we'll say starting with what you've done, you've moved there, you've lived there, you've got your permanent residency, I think. I don't know if you have citizenship. What's that process like? And, I just know there's a lot of people out there that are looking to get more than one option. So how difficult is it, and what kind of things do you have to do to accomplish it?
Yeah, it's not complicated at all. It just takes time. The easiest one is if you're at least 45 years old and you make at least $2,000 a month, you can automatically get residency through the Qualified Retirement Program, which we call the QRP. And you get to bring over your boat, your car, your plane, everything, your personal belongings, duty free. And if you want to work or something like that, then you have to do a different route. But I came in and got a work permit, and then you have to stay in the country for 1 year without leaving for more than 2 weeks. And if you do that, you qualify to be a resident. So you can have Belize residency. And then once you're a resident, or you have your work permit for at least 5 years, then you can apply for nationality, which is what I did. And I obtained my second, I have my US passport, and then I have my Belize passport. I think I've had it for a couple years now. So it's not hard at all, but it just takes some time. The hardest thing is for people who want to get residency, the time commitment, having to be here for a whole year without leaving for more than 2 weeks.
Right. And is there any, I guess you can't go on record and say it, but Did you cut it close? Did you go out of the country for like 13 days? No.
Nope, nope. I mean, I do know of people that have taken longer. So if you had like a death in the family, or you have to leave for some medical reasons, and you have a doctor's note, so to speak, I've seen the government, help in that regard. Me personally, I didn't leave the country at all for the first 2 years, because I sold everything in '08, '09, and moved in 2000, like February 2010. I was pretty much starting over. And so I had to just work. And now I'm able to travel a little bit more, to Real Estate Guys events and Kyle Wilson's events and things like that.
Love it. So anyone who is looking to, what's the word? I'm trying to figure out the right way to phrase it. Anyone who's looking to begin this journey, it's kind of tough maybe now because of travel restrictions, but it sounds like for the time being, you can get in and out of Belize. Correct me if I'm wrong, US Canadian passport, you can get in and out through the airport right now. Yeah.
Correct. So you have to have a 96-hour a negative COVID test within 96 hours, a PCR test, or 48 hours rapid test, and you can come into the country. Or you can take the test in Belize if you want, and it's 50 Belize dollars, and take the test, or 50 US dollars, sorry, and take the test, and if it's negative, you're on your way.
Cool. And we'll round it off. This interview is being recorded around we'll say the first week of February 2021. So we're not giving out advice here, we're just telling you what we know.
That's it.
So anyways, I mean, for example, you working with a client, you working with me, say I've never been to Belize before. I know it's always important to get that first visit in and kind of get the lay of the land and see if this is a good fit. How do you recommend someone do that on their own? And then we'll also talk about how they can do it maybe through even reaching out with you.
Yep. It's all about networking and just talking to people, right? We are seeing a lot of people buying stuff sight unseen because they're just ready. We've kind of had a reset button, that hit pause. So whereas everything was just going skyrocket, now it's just kind of paused a little bit because of COVID. And so we are just seeing unprecedented amount of sales coming in where people are just buying stuff sight unseen. And we're doing things, virtually, right? I definitely suggest using a trusted professional, a lawyer, a trusted real estate agent. But again, check your credentials because, there's a lot of, I say Belize is a very sunny place for shady people. So you want to make sure you're working with somebody you can trust. And then just make sure whatever you would do in North America, just do here. Hire the lawyer, hire, professional people to do the title searches and help you find, the true piece of what you're looking for.
Is there any type of, and I think you mentioned this to me before, but I want to just get it on record. Is there any type of benefits or program for investors who want to buy property or land in Belize? If they invest a certain amount, will that benefit them in regards to their standing with the government?
Yeah, unfortunately not now. We're trying through the Real Estate Association, try to bring it back because there used to be one that was like 275 or 300,000 US dollars. And it just, nobody was really taking advantage of it. So it just kind of went by the wayside. But now we're trying to bring that back, especially because the government could use the cash injection from investors, and it would give them a place to get residency automatically. So we'll see what happens. They can stay in touch with us, or you and myself, and we can definitely help them when that's active again.
Yeah, if there's any way we can make that happen or bring it back to life. I know from, again, speaking with my buddies down there in Belize, and you've probably seen it. I mean, the entire country's economy, correct me if I'm wrong, is taking a pretty significant blow, like everyone else's, but Belize with the number one, source of income coming from tourism. Hey, I'm just going to say to the government, if any of you guys are listening to this, I know I'm connected with some of you on Facebook, talk to David, see if we can get this thing back and start bringing some more money back into Belize, because I definitely know we got some clients for you. So any follow-up on that, David?
Yeah, no, and we just had the new government change as well. So, they seem to be wanting to work with the real estate association and bring the real estate bill in, which will help, and also bring those incentives back in for investors to want to invest in this wonderful country.
Love it. All right, well, let's go ahead and start winding it down now, David. This has been fun. And who knows, maybe we'll do another session, just come back and talk about Belize, because it's making me feel good. Talk about the old days.
Better to do one in person when you're here.
Yeah. Oh man, don't tease me. You know I'm ready. So, so yeah, let's close it out. We did the shout out earlier to the real estate guys, so I don't know if you want to reiterate that or give another shout out to someone else who you've never given one before.
Yeah, no, I'd like to give a shout out to, well, let's do Peter Schiff,
Okay.
because his father, Erwin Schiff, was one that got me on my trajectory on wanting to move somewhere else.
Wow.
So, and with that, and the real estate guys who allowed me to meet Peter Schiff, and so that would be my shout out, would be those three people right there.
Definitely big shout out to Peter. I met you at Freedom Fest briefly last year. Was it last year? I can't even remember now. No, they didn't have one last year, 2 years ago. And then I love his capitalism thing that he did when he was, I don't know if you ever saw that. He went down to, I think it was Wall Street or somewhere. And
Yes.
anyways, just look up like Peter Schiff getting interviewed by people that were kind of mad at him. I loved it. So yeah, there we go, David. Thank you again for investing your time with us here today. I know you've heard that phrase before. I got that from the real estate guys. Thank you for investing your time is one of the best things you could say. What's the best way for our listeners to follow up and get in touch with you? The one single best way.
The best way is email.
Okay.
So david@firstchoicebelize.com. I'm always on email. So that'd be the best way.
And it's first choice with the number 1 ST.
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
David@firstchoicebelize.com. There you go, guys. Go connect with him. You'll definitely get your money's worth. So, all right, David, any closing remarks for our listeners today?
Oh man, just want to give a big shout out to you and what you're doing. And you're doing a lot of positive stuff and putting out some excellent content. So thanks again for having me on.
My pleasure, boy.
And hope to see you soon.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you for tuning into Dream Chasers Interviews with the Future. We will catch you in the next episode. Remember, in all you think, say, and do, take it to the next level.